Welcome back to our second video on using the Emlid RS3 as a network rover. Now, since we have our hardware set up, let's go ahead and I turned this off, but I'm going to turn it back on. So press it once and then hold it and let this Emlid boot up. You saw the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth flash. And then I'm going to start up my Emlid Flow app. So go into the Emlid Flow on the iPhone, and the first thing that shows up in this screen is the receivers. It wants you to choose what receiver. And if you're having an issue where it's not finding a receiver, you need to make sure that your phone's Bluetooth and Wi-Fi is turned on. So of course we're going to sit here for several minutes and be patient because this thing takes a while to boot up. But you'll see that first of all the big light comes on, and then our Wi-Fi comes on, and hopefully the Bluetooth will come on too. And when these lights stop blinking, then we know that we've got a fully functional receiver. If you need to restart the Emlid throughout this process, don't turn it on, turn it off up here. Restart it using the Emlid Flow button. We'll show you in a few minutes. So we're going to sit here. We're in a nice open area because the Emlid does not like cover. And as you can see, all 5 lights are on. That means we have a full battery. Click on refresh. And the first tip I'll give you is do not connect via Wi-Fi. You must connect this via Bluetooth because the Wi-Fi connection and the in-trip correction do not get along very well at all. And we're sitting here being patient, letting this thing boot up, and it still hasn't found it. So what I'm going to do is close this app. Oh no, here it is. So there it is, Emlid RS3 rover beta. Look at that little Wi-Fi, look at the Bluetooth symbol. You must have a Bluetooth signal. If you have the Wi-Fi signal, the different Wi-Fi lines, disconnect and connect to the Bluetooth. Okay, so let's run through this step by step. So we have the rover, and a lot of times I have up to 5 of these units cooking at the same time. So what I like to do is click on the name and click Flash LED, and that will flash this head unit and it'll tell me I'm working with the right rover. All right. Second, go into settings. I've got a bunch of satellites. They're a mix of green and yellow, which means I'm not in a great area. And if you look around where I am right now, there's a lot of tree cover. I'm not surprised they're yellow. We may have to move. Second, PDOP. We have a pretty low PDOP, but it's not great. Solution is float, which means we are receiving corrections, but they're not that good. Positioning mode is kinematic. Tilt compensation is turned off. I don't like using the tilt unless I have to. Now the corrections. We are receiving corrections. The age is only 1 second old, so that means we're connected to the in-trip network. That's all good. And the last thing is we're not logging, which is fine because why would we be logging here if we're not doing Opus or something else? Now, what about the in-trip corrections? This thing says in-trip over Bluetooth, which it should be because we're connected to my phone via Bluetooth. It's the 0.1 network, that's correct, and we are receiving corrections. Awesome. What happens if you are not receiving corrections? Well, that means that you probably have the wrong username, the wrong password, the wrong mount point. Something is not right. So what you should do is go on to your phone and go to app.point1nav.com/login. And because I've got a horrible cell signal here, it's going to take forever to load. I'm going to log in using LastPass to point 1. And I'm going to click on point 1 nav and log in. So Point One Nav has credentials for each device. And I have a device here called Intrip, username, password, and if you want to know the IP address, the mount point, all that stuff, you're going to click on How Do I Connect, and it's going to tell you the true RTK. There's your caster, there's your port number. You want to make sure you are mount point local, because you will not be able to get state plane coordinates without the local mount point. Okay, all of that is taken care of. So my status is good. My Intrip over Bluetooth is good. Base output is off because we're not using this as a base. Logging is not recording because why would we record post-processed data? Wi-Fi is on hotspot, so this is broadcasting a hotspot to us right now. And if we wanted to, we could connect to the NLC home, which I'm going to do that now, just so that, well, I'm not going to do that, but you can connect the antenna directly to your home network, your office network, truck, Wi-Fi, whatever, because we may want to update the firmware. Now the last thing is the settings. So the settings, the mobile data is turned off because we don't have a cell phone chip. Bluetooth is discoverable and on, which is good. GNSS settings. Let's take a look at that. Let's join this network and take a look at the GNSS settings. What I really want to see is all of my networks are selected. GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, all this stuff. The mask and the SNR range default is fine. We are broadcasting Bluetooth, which means that the position is coming right to my phone. And the big thing here is the firmware. Before you survey every day, you need to check your firmware. And it needs to say reach is up to date. If the reach is not up to date, update the firmware immediately because this thing does weird stuff with the bad firmware. Go to receiver info. I'm calling this RS3 rover because I don't know. Oh yeah, the serial number is Echo 4 Alpha 7. So I'm going to change the name to Echo 4 Alpha 7. And I do that because we always want to know the last 4 digits of the serial because we have so many reaches working at the same time. Sounds are on, night mode is off, power externally is off. All of this looks good. So I'm going to click refresh again to make sure I'm fully connected, and I am. And I would say that life is pretty good right now. We've got our settings correct, got our hardware set up. The only issue is we are still floating, and that is because we're in this kind of canopy of trees, and the reach does not like tree cover. It needs a nice broad sky in order to get a fix. So that leads me to my next video, which is going to be troubleshooting connections. So stay tuned and we'll troubleshoot this thing and we'll get our fix going, and then we'll be surveying in no time.